Yeah, hi everyone. Here we go, another video for you from Smith's Garage. So here we have it. I know it doesn't look as if I've done much, but no, it doesn't, does it? But it's all in the stage of the planning. There's a lot to think about. There's a lot of, things to think about. You put it down on a piece of paper, you try and do a bit of graph paper, work out how many spacings you've got, and sometimes it works out fine on a piece of paper. I mean, like if I can show you here, this is something I did on a piece of paper and that looks fine. But when you actually work it out in real life, the scale is out and things don't fit that you want to try and fit. So you have to come to the track, and I just used some old lengths of railway track that I had just to try and work out some spacings. So over there I want to try and put two country platforms, which are going to be a little bit smaller than the main station platform I have on the other side. So these are just going to be like for one coach at a time. So they're going to be a lot narrower. One of the reasons why I want the platforms narrower is because I want to put a few more tracks over here. This is going to be like a coal yard, so I want quite a few tracks. I've figured on about 4, and then I've got another main line on the inside, which is going to be for track 3. That is going to be a coal train and delivering wagons to the mine yard behind me. So that's something I'm going to be figuring out. The next project for me now is to actually build the platforms and then work my way from the outside in. So working my way from where the hammer is back there and start securing down the track, and just do the outer track. I'll just do one track at a time. So one of the thoughts I've been thinking about was, rather than keeping everything on the flat level, which it is, if you could imagine, when I pan round, it's a really flat surface. So what I want to do is just mix up a couple of hills, a couple of mounds, some bushes, shrubbery, a couple of rocks, make it look as if you've had to blast through some areas to build a track through, and that just makes it a bit more interesting than just a completely flat surface. I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to build the ramp. So I haven't done much more to the ramp yet, but as you can see, there's a ramp there for an express track that goes all the way around the outside and then continues on around behind me. Put a couple of coaches in just so I can make sure that it was high enough, because I would be a bit silly building it and not having it high enough. So I put a couple of coaches under there, and just to make sure I got an inch or two underneath. I would like to put some track underlay. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do yet, whether I'm going to use cork or foam, or actually I was thinking of just, like I said earlier, just to make it interesting, raise the level of the track. So I might actually raise a few of the track levels, one of them being the express track at the back. What I was going to use is either some 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch ply, or I might even cut up some plasterboard and throw a couple of sheets on top each other just to beef it up, so it's maybe an inch off the ground, so it looks higher, it's raised than all the other track. So this one section is for my daughters. I'd love them to be involved in the progress of this, so I did send them an email and been chatting to them, and they seem interested in helping me out with all this, because they love all this sort of thing, building little models and all the dinky stuff that goes with it. So if you want to have a look at that, that is how much space I've got. That is where the track is going to be, so just bear that in mind. So that's roughly where the track is going to be. But that's a lot of space there. You could put a lot of shops. So just look at the things that I've got. They're not 100%, but I can tidy them up if you want to use them in the final layout. They can be moved around, but there's a lot of space there. I was thinking of like shops and maybe a little a path, and then a road can go in front of there. Have a couple of cars, people walking past. Have a fence on the far side of the railway line. Just put up a fence by there, put some telegraph poles. Sky's the limit really, isn't it? There's lots of things that you can do with that. A couple of trees in the background even. There's a signal box there. Signal box could even go by here. And in front of this raised, this is elevated track which comes down to baseboard level. Everything has to come down to baseboard level so it can go across the drawbridge. Hence the reason why I can get in and out easily. So there's a drawbridge that lifts up and down, so that's when everything has to be at baseboard level there. But besides that, once it passes that drawbridge over here, you can start going up again, and that's the up ramp. As you can see there against the wall, that's the up ramp. So there you have it, and then this is the coach area. So for my girls now, there's plenty for you, for you to think of. There's lots that can be done by there, and the sky's the limit. Overhead lights, street lights, anything like that. Yes, the wall's got to be painted, and I've got some paneling to put in that corner there. That will be finished off. This raised section of track is not going to be much higher than that, because obviously that has to go down from baseboard level, and this is just a rough piece of track, so it's going to be going up slowly, and it's going to be going on an incline and continually going up, as you can see there. So I can't really move that's sort of set, that one. These two in front, this is for my track 2, so both of them are going to be going into the coal yard. So these can be moved a little, but not much, and they will also have to be at ground level here. But besides that, they can go up slowly. I could elevate it by maybe half an inch to make it look interesting, and then put some bushes either side or a couple of trees. There could even be an area here for car parking, maybe. Put a road bridge across there, have some cars in here, make it a car park, or maybe make it like a field and put some hedges around and have some horses there. It could even be, like inner city areas where you have plots, allotments. You can make that into an area of allotments. That would look interesting. Lots of little people walking around digging, vegetables, and some little huts and greenhouses. That could be interesting. See, there's lots of things that can be done. Just having a bit of thought and just thinking, well, what can go there? As you come round here, the section is getting more and more elevated there to about a couple of inches there. And again, this is where the station platform is. So there's a station going there, so really from about there onwards that there's space to play around with. A lot of empty space. Could have a little pond there, a couple of ducks, maybe a guy fishing, perhaps. Yeah, so there you have it. So that's that section. So if I slowly pan around to the other side, just passing the station, we come up here. This is where I'd like to have a turntable in this area here, somewhere, not quite sure, but somewhere in this area. And this is going to be the hillside. Now I have got this white stuff which is very easy to cut. So I was thinking of using this as the hillside. I could cut it down and shape it, and that would look really good. So the hillside is over there and over there. So what I was thinking of is over there is on the hillside having like a stream going down, have a little river on the bottom, a bridge for the train track to cross, maybe amongst the hills, where the hillside is, somewhere I can put some sort of factory. I was thinking of like a mining factory. So yeah, there's lots of things that can go in there. It's just a matter of what would look good and what will fit in. and obviously I have to think about the railway lines, make sure all the railway lines match up, and I would rather get the railway lines as a priority first and then see what I can fit in around the railway lines. So watch the space and see what happens. Thank you very much. Bye for now.